Well, clearly, even to say there'll be somebody, exactly like Paterno, well, he did things that nobody had ever done before. So clearly, it'd be tough to say that there'll be a guy who will come along and have 46 years and 409 wins. But more to the point of these coaches who put together these really long careers with one school and become somewhat iconic and become sort of the symbol of the school. Not just Joe Paterno. Again, Joe Paterno stands alone as far as his longevity, but guys like Bobby Bowden, who spent 34 years at Florida State. Guys like Bo Schembechler, who spent more than 2 decades at Michigan. Guys like Tom Osborne, more than 2 decades at Nebraska. Coaches along those lines. It seems like we're moving away from a time where we're going to see guys who are at one school for a long time with tremendous success. Part of it is money. Guys are making so much more money, and the opportunities to make money, be it in the NFL or other jobs, is always there. So even a guy like Nick Saban, who's a tremendous coach, has coached at Michigan State. He's coached at LSU, won a national title, went to the NFL. He's at Alabama. He's 60 years old, and he's making almost $5 million a year. What's the motivation for him to hang around until he's 75 or 80? It seems like we are moving away from that type of coach. And you talk to athletic directors like Notre Dame's Jack Swarbrick and Oliver Luck at West Virginia, and they even said the same thing. We're probably on more of a cycle where once it hits about 10 years, you might be looking at the lifespan of most coaches at most places. Right now, the longest tenured coach in college football, major college football, continuous tenure at one school, is Frank Beamer, who's been at Virginia Tech since 1987. After that, you've had, Bill Snyder at Kansas State, but he even stepped away for a few years, but he's been at Kansas State for over 20 years, but with a 3-year gap. You have Chris Ault at Nevada, who's been at Nevada for over 20 years, but with 2 different periods in which he stepped away and then came back. The next longest continuous stretch of coaching at one school after Beamer is Mac Brown, and he started in 1998